Damn it. I told myself I was going to be good today. I was good all day long, and then I don't know what happened. It got to like 3 or 4 o'clock and I just ended up going for the biscuits again. Now, do you know this cycle? Do you feel like you're a sugar addict? Don't worry, that used to be me. I used to be the human who would wake up every morning and I'd tell myself I was going to be good. I'd be good for most of the day, be able to be on track, but something happened at like 2, 3 o'clock, and every single day I was reaching for sugar. So I want you to know you're not alone. The average human is consuming 1/3 of their calories from sugar, and this is because it is hidden in so many processed foods. A lot of us aren't even aware of the sugars that we're consuming, and so I want to talk to you about the impact it's having on our health, but also what you can do to get over it. Now, our bodies were not designed to consume this much sugar, and as we know, yeah, sure, after eating it you always get that energy high, which is why you crave it when you're in that energy slump at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And you get the high, but you also always get the crash. Now, there's some serious long-term effects of this sugar addiction. It causes fatigue. So women are often reaching for these foods at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, hoping for a pick-me-up, but it actually makes their fatigue worse because the additives and preservatives that are coming to their body are foreign to the body, and the body doesn't know what to do with it. It uses a lot of energy processing those additives, preservatives, and all those sugars. It uses a lot of energy trying to balance the hormones, trying to regulate your emotions as a result of the sugar. The problem with the sugar also is it causes a lot of health and gut health issues. When your microbiome is upset, it sends messages to your brain, making you experience more anxiety and depression. Now, this is a vicious cycle because predominantly the women who experience some levels of anxiety and depression are craving carbs and sugar. So they eat the foods, it makes their gut health worse, and their condition and their mental health declines. Now, naturally, when your mental health declines, you feel more stressed, you feel more overwhelmed, you lack energy. And so, of course, it's very hard to get out of this cycle where you feel like you're stuck, got no energy, and you keep reaching for these poor food choices. Now, sugar cravings are so intense because the more sugar that you consume, there's a type of yeast that grows in your stomach. What happens is that yeast multiplies. So the more sugar you consume, the more the yeast multiplies. And so the yeast sends a message via the vagus vein to the brain telling you to eat more sugar. So the more yeast you have in your stomach because you've consumed more, the stronger your cravings are. So I'm not here to tell you to cut sugar completely because I do consume sugar myself, and I'm not living under a rock and thinking that that's a possibility. But what I know that you can do is you can make healthier treats. When you make treats that have got vitamins and minerals in them, natural fats, then your body is getting some foods in their natural form. Rather than being heavily processed, which is like white flours and refined sugar, your body actually knows what to do with it. So not only do you get your sugar hit and you get that craving sorted, but it's not feeding the yeast in your stomach. So it actually decreases your sugar cravings overall. So if you're wanting to get out of the energy slump and you're wanting to change how you feel from day to day and start waking up feeling more energized, then you have to start to look at the sugar that you're consuming. Ideally, making some healthy treats to get you through that 3 or 4 o'clock afternoon slump is perfect. Starting to read ingredient labels and looking at how much sugar is in the item per 100 grams. You'll notice most of these products have far greater amounts than 5 grams per 100. So always look at the 100 grams column on the nutritional table, and if it has over 5 grams, try and give it a miss. It's also a really good idea to learn the other names that sugar can be hidden under. Because they don't obviously write white refined sugar, they hide it under all sorts of names. So it's a good idea to Google the different names that they hide sugar under. There's actually 60 different names. Then once you're looking at the nutritional table, you can start to compare products and you can pick the items with the least sugar in them or better sources of sugar. What you'll find is that your sugar cravings will decrease, your energy will increase, your mental health will improve, your hormones will balance, and you'll feel a whole lot better overall.